Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. My name is Adam, and this week we are playing Esper Legends in Standard. So this list, as of right now, uh, European pro player Torov is in the finals with the 75 of the Naples, I think. Yeah, the European Championship in Naples. So deck looks super interesting. It is based around this Plaza of Heroes card, which came out in Dominar United. Essentially, this is an untapped 5-color rainbow land that can support legendary creatures. Once you have a legendary permanent on the battlefield, it will also tap for any color among those legends. So you're able to splash things like go for the throat in here. Meanwhile, it also has the ability to give a creature hexproof and indestructible, so you can get one up over your opponent that's playing a removal heavy deck. Also, to that end, we have 4 copies of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, which makes just non-creature spells just a little bit worse and throw your opponent off tempo-wise. And then Skrelv, the latest Mother of Runes variant, does a similar job here. So the main goal of this deck is kind of like an aggressive creature strategy, utilizing these very overset legendary permanents. And then thanks to cards like Rafine here, who connive, you're able to discard redundant copies of legendary permanents because you can only have one in play at a time with that particular name. Also notably, because there's so many people that are utilizing the non-basic lands that are available in Standard, we're in a leyline binding format and a Traxa format. Razorlatch Transmogrid is really good from the graveyard. So it's one of a very long line of like Scrapheap Scrounger, Bloodghast variants where it returns from the from the graveyard to the battlefield when a certain cost is met. Otherwise, it's a 3/1 aggressive creature for 2 mana. So if your opponent has 4 or more non-basic lands, this costs only 2 mana to return, and you can do that instant speed. So it's a great way of beating something like Liliana of the Veil, where your opponent's going to spend 3 mana to edict you, make you sacrifice a creature. And because we're going to have these legendary permanents, we're probably not going to have a ton of creatures on the board at any given time. But instant speed 2 mana, we can bring this back so we can keep some of our stronger creatures or more relevant disruptive elements intact. Ludovic, honestly, I know vaguely what this card says and does. I've never actually cast it yet, so let's take a look. So when Ludovic enters the battlefield or attacks, you mill a card, and then you can reanimate, exile X creatures from your graveyard, transform it, can't be 0, and then I believe the thing that you transform into becomes a copy of a creature that is exiled with Ludovic. But notably, it changes the name of the card to Oleg, so that way if you have a legendary creature exiled with it, you're not going to sacrifice it to the legend rule. So for example, if there's a Sheoldred in our graveyard, we can make a copy of Sheoldred, but it has the different name, so we get double of those triggers. Also, to mention, Sheoldred is a powerhouse card in this format. A lot of the removal deals 3 to 4 damage. Sheoldred survives that very easily. It does a number on opposing Rafines, for example, but also Fable the Mirror Breaker, Wedding Announcement. There's a lot of good card draw in this format, and Sheoldred is an amazing punisher for that. Being a 4/5 Death Touch body, you can just sit back. Like, it has the stats to be able to be aggressive when that is available, but if you're worried about, say, a Wandering Emperor, sitting back on your 4/5 creature and just letting them drain themselves, totally a valid strategy. So, relatively speaking, this deck is fairly straightforward. You're playing creatures, you want to turn them sideways, and each one has just enough of a disruptive element to stop the opponent from advancing their game plan. And then looking to the sideboard, I know that there's a visual glitch going on with Arena here, but we have 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke. That's specifically to answer Sheoldred, which is really good against this deck. The Wandering Emperor, Invoke Despair, or God forbid a hard cast Atraxa. a lot of the removal in the format is also enchantment based. So you have your ossification, you have your what else? You have powerful mid-range threats. So Fable the Mirror Breaker and Wedding Announcement are two of the best cards in the set, or rather in the format. Lauren is an excellent way of removing those while also adding to the board. We have Malicious Malfunction, which is a wrath effect against the mono red deck, which is very prevalent. Their goal is to play things like Monastery Swiftspear and Kamana Faces Kakazan. So clearing out their 2/2s or their X2s is a really good way of not dying to an aggressive deck like mono red. Similarly, we have Cut Downs, 4 copies. Destroy Evil, again to answer opposing Sheoldreds and those powerful enchantments that we mentioned before. Leyline Binding is another example of those. And then Go for the Throat, which is just good, clean, efficient removal. So we're going to hop into the ladder, play 5 games, and then we're going to see how we do and discuss. As always, this video is brought to you by QuietSpeculation.com. Quiet Speculation is a Magic the Gathering finance website, and they do a great job at helping you make the most out of your Magic buck, whether it's figuring out the best buy list to use, or evaluating your collection, tracking your collection, or even just reading some of the articles from some of our talented writers. There's so much to enjoy at Quiet Speculation. You can also see a bunch of competitive Magic content, like the stuff that I put out. All of my stuff comes out on Tuesdays at Quiet Spec, and hope to see you there. So we have found an opponent. We're going to hop into game 1. Alright, this is a little tight, but it's a keep. Dennick into Rafine, discard the Transmogrant for Connive seems good. We have redundant Otawaras, but there's going to be discounted, so they're going to be pretty close to 1 mana bounce spells, which I don't hate. The first one's probably going to be a land, and the second one's going to be spell-based. My opponent is on a mulligan to 6, which I will not complain about. I think I'm actually going to lead on the Plaza of Heroes here. Because we're going to play this Dennick. Okay. Opponent may be on mono red, they might be on red black or Grixis, but this means that I don't die to a 2 damage burn spell, and they're going to spend their turn 3 on Lightning Strike. I'm very okay with that. Here, okay, given that my opponent is playing burn spells, it makes sense to land this Rafine. If they go Liliana, so be it. Not a Liliana, it's a Squee. So I'm just going to block the token. Nothing wrong with that. Now that's kind of nice. We're going to discard the Transmogrant. Bonk you. And we'll bring back the Dennick. Kind of nice. This blocks the token again. And my opponent already spent a spell to kill it the first time around. If they have to spend another one, I am very okay with that. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so this is one of those decks where the Malicious Malfunction will be very, very good for us. Now, the question here is, do I want the Wedding Announcement, or do I want to just hang back with this 2 power blocker? Alright, I'm going to stick this Takenuma. I think I can land a Wedding Announcement and be fine. I can sit behind this for a minute. My opponent's not going to be able to attack in very well if they play a non-basic land here. I can return the Razor Lash. Sure. So they're gonna basically draw a card off the skeleton. I am okay with that. Alright, that's an interesting decision from them. Dahlia is really nice here. I think I discarded the plaza. They have one card. Now the question is, do I want the Thalia or do I want the Adeline? Adeline will keep me from being able to play the, channel the Aganjo. But it's a bigger body. I think Thalia is probably fine here. Alright. So they have played their 4th non-basic land. Depending on how they want to attack in. Yeah. So they're just going to hit me for 1 off the Phoenix. I'm fine with that. Let's get this down. I'll pay the 1 life, rather. Sure. Alright, so opponent's going to go down to 9. Or, sorry, take 9. Go down to 5. I'm going to draw a card. All my stuff gets bigger. They don't really have attacks. Bloodthirsty adversary. They will not be able to lightning strike me. Cool. I want these, and I want these. Shouldred's going to be a little clunky, but it's going to be very, very strong. No way I am giving up on my lifelink creature here, so let's figure out what we're cutting. Skrelv isn't bad. It doesn't block, but it does draw removal to it. Rafine blocks very well. Adeline's also going to be very strong. Thinking Wedding Announcement might be a little slow and doesn't line up super well with the Malfunction. Excuse me. I can trim on the Transmogrant. I can probably trim on Skrelv. Do I want to just get rid of Skrelv? Yeah, I don't mind that. My opponent's not really going to be able to deal with the high toughness creatures very well. Thalia's going to line up pretty nicely with their burn spells. Do I want to cut lands? I probably don't want to cut lands. I have 28. Some of them are technically spells. I could trim an Aganjo. And put back in a Wedding Announcement? Sure. Thalia's a little awkward, but they have so many 2/2s and so many efficient burn spells. Just throwing them off on that axis can bring me pretty easily into the mid-game where I start to take over. Alright, so this is perfect. Come on, fix this Kakazan. Alright, so if I had to guess, it's probably going to be a 2-power creature. Yeah, Felden. Paste, now 3/3. Notably, that's going to get around my removal spell here. but I think that's probably fine. Let's play this Denic. If they have a burn spell, it's gonna suck a little bit, since the etchings of Kakazan, or sorry, Kamanu, will, hold on. When a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die. So this will exile. I won't be able to get the disturb effect. But that seems fine to me. I'm going to block here. They're going to have something. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a 2-for-1. Regain some life. Alright, so I am a little risk averse here regarding giving them extra cards for this. I think it makes more sense for me to... Do I want to attack? Yeah, I'll attack. Okay, that's pretty nice. I'll ditch the Takanuma. Let's exile this Sui permanently. They're gonna hit me for 3 off the Feldon, but I'll be able to go for the third at next turn. Really hoping they don't have the... what is it? Thundering Raiju? Kaiju? The 3/3 haste dragon thing. Obnix. Now that's interesting.
Don't stand with me. You're my enemy. Go sow some chaos.
This is the token one. Cool. Alright, so we're going to discard a Ganjo. I'm going to clear out this one, and then I'm going to bounce the token.
My revenge will be cruel and painful.
Alright, so I can play Thalia, which will be able to block the Mishra's Foundry. They're going to be able to ping in off of the Devil. That's fine. And we're going to get rid of this. Let's go for the throat's not going to do much right now. But depending on what my opponent draws, it will answer the majority of their creatures. So I'm going to go down to 7. Ooh, that's actually a really, really nice draw for me. I think I just attack with Thalia. I was going to discard the Denic, but I think it makes more sense to play out my 2/3 lifelink creature and then hold up a Go for the Throat. We are firmly in the driver's seat here. My opponent could have another Planeswalker, in which case we would have some trouble. But yeah, they drew too many lands toward the end. Awesome. And the reason why I sequenced it that way was so that the Devil token couldn't die and then shoot down Thalia. Alright. A resounding 2-0 in our first match. On to match number 2. Huh, I see. I'm going to screenshot this. And then I'm going to promptly mulligan. Much better. I can throw back the Takenuma, because this will be a blue source. Notably, this deck has 3 copies of the blue and white channel lands. It has 1 copy of the black one. Alright, so my opponent very clearly has some sort of removal here. Yeah. That's fine. Skrull can't protect itself either way. And I don't really care if they kill this. Feldon is a nice one to get rid of, but I just found a Rafine, so I am straight jumping. Alright, so as much as I want to keep this go for the throat, Children is going to just close out this game for me very quickly next turn. Because I will be able to get 3 Connive triggers off. So I will gladly take 4. Sorry, 2 Connive triggers. And they're off of it. This will gain me 4 life. I will be able to outpace them, and they can't really get rid of any of my stuff. So just like last time, we're going to bring in all of these. We're going to trim down here. What did I say before? These are non-negotiable. Adeline could probably get trimmed, but I like having the 4 toughness quite a bit. Thalia is also very nice. Okay, we're trimming on. Here's Eyelash. Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. There are 2 Takenumas in this build. I was looking at the one that Gabriel Nassif was using earlier today, and that was on 1 Takenuma, 3 of each of these. This looks fine to me. Maybe I want to trim a Thalia, since I'm bringing in all these spells, but Thalia is really, really strong against a lot of their creatures. And disrupts their removal. I think it's likely that they will prioritize killing Thalia as quickly as possible, in which case having multiple is worthwhile. I will need to sequence well around my non-creature spells for that to not get awkward on my end. Yeah. I have Denick into Wedding Announcement or into Malfunction. A little awkward that I won't have black mana available. For this? Okay. Ask and I shall receive. It does get a little weird with that Seachrome Coast, but I'll get over that. Thank you so much for the the follow, Gobbler. I appreciate it. Oh, alright, well, they're just off it. Alright. I think it's very clear that this deck is strong against the mono red deck. A friend of mine was the trophy leader on Magic Online Standard for quite a bit, just chaining mono red wins after mono red wins. I have not had the same luck with the deck, but I am happy to farm them on here. Oh, we actually have a Ludwig. Alright, so I think I lead on Darkslick into Plaza into either Danik or Thalia, depending on what my opponent's first couple lands look like. Thalia does make this wedding announcement a little awkward on her. So, my assumption is my opponent probably has a 1-mana removal spell here. Probably a cut down. Ooh, and they miss a land drop? Whew. Okay. It's, gonna be pretty hard for them to come back from this, actually. I am not complaining. Black, blue. Alright, so they found what they were looking for. I found another shoulder in the bin for Ludwig. Here is a shoulder. You are already very close to dead. Hitting an opponent when they're stumbling like that is just so backbreaking. If I had found a Rafine here, it would have been absolutely lights out. Alright, so let me just read this one more time. As this creature transforms, it becomes a copy of a creature, exile with it, except its name is yada yada, and it's a 4/4. And I can do this at instant speed, exile one creature, then transform, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. In which case, it makes sense to make a copy. Now they take 4 and they lose. Wow, for a card that I've never read in full, Ludwig was actually pretty good. Alright. So this is either Grixis or red-black. My assumption is Grixis. They showed us the big, scary spell that we don't want to see. It could be swayed to play Destroy Evil here. What do I care most about here? Skrell's going to be strong. Shouldered's going to be strong. Rafine's going to be strong. Lauren, I guess, will be a little medium, but... So Cut Down is nice against Harvester. It's nice against Fable Token. Go for the Throat does all of that while also hitting Shouldred, which is the creature we care most about. They have the... presumably they have Graveyard Trespasser. I think I can trim on Danik, even though it's good against the Trespasser. I can get rid of Ludwig. Adelaine's pretty high impact. My opponent's probably going to have some negates. Probably gonna load up on removal. So I think I can still trim on Skrull. There's probably gonna be someone in the comments yelling at me about that, but so be it. Hand is a little slow, but it interacts well. My assumption is I'm going to get duress on turn 1. No duress? Okay. Dark Slick. We're going to represent cut down. Okay, so it is Grixis. Now they know I don't have cut down, which is not super great for me. They probably have a main disappear here. Or they have a Fable that they're going to run out. I think they probably have both, and they're trying to sequence their turn. Bankbuster. Okay. We're going to bust your bank. And then gladly offer a trade with the Harvester. Or rather, gladly accept a trade with the Harvester. I did have Fable. So they're disinterested in the attack. Let's destroy this enchantment. Yeah, that's fine. They do get the attack off. And I will block. Really, really hoping this isn't an invoke. Sheoldred. I used up my answer to Sheoldred. I do have an Otawara. That's not great. I do have my own Sheoldred. Make disappear. Yeah, I hate it, but I gotta do it. My opponent is very clearly holding up Make Disappear, and I assume they also have Invoke. Okay, we can burn a cut down out of them though. That's not the worst. I really need to find a go for the throat. So that's real bad for me. Oh, okay. They were holding up a stroke, which I don't know why they were holding priority before. Alright. I need to draw some sort of action here. I need to do it quickly. is taking their time. That is an interesting choice when you have the Bank Buster. Are you trying to find a way to crew it? Getting really aggressive. Alright. Alright, this is a do or die moment. So fortunately, Adeline does not die to cut down. I can double block Shouldered. Phew. Oh, it's not spell pierce. Alright, I have one more draw. I have exactly one draw to find an answer to Shouldered. I'm guessing they have a land? So trying to figure out what to do with it. Alright, that doesn't get me out of this. That's a shame. Does this change how I want to sideboard at all? I think I want another Destroy Evil. I think I want more Lorens. I can go down to one Skrelv. So they bring in Disdainful Stroke. And the only thing that hits is Shouldered. How much do I want cut down? Do I really care about their 3/2s? Not especially. I think on average my creatures are going to have the stats that don't care quite as much. Like X4s have 3/2s bounce off of them. So it's just a matter of, do I want more answers to Fable? Can't keep this one lander. I can keep this. Put back a Seachrome. I would appreciate you not duressing me. Okay. If this is a blue source and pass, it's a little unfortunate, but I'm gonna. Yeah, it's a blue source and pass, isn't it? Oh, they're going for Bank. Sure, I am really into that. Here's a wedding announcement. Let's get this online. Probably Fable, if I had to guess. Yeah. I think it makes sense for me to just slam this Adeline, attack with 2 creatures. They block 1. I draw a card. Yeah. The downside is I don't get to punish their second chapter off of Fable, but I think that this is probably the most aggressive line that I can take. while also generating immediate value. Adeline's going to force them to use a removal spell and put a lot of pressure on very quickly. Oh, I don't draw a card, right? It's comes in tap and attack. So I don't actually have it see the attack. So they do have a go for the throat. No blocks. You got another one? Corpse Appraiser. Yikes. I value the card draw over the token. And I like holding up Otawara. Harvester. Alright, so they probably have Make Disappear here. Real bad for me. Nope, they're just going wide. Alright. It's actually a pretty decent draw. No attacks. Kill spell. Okay. Is this an invoke? Tapping out. It is. It's not gonna work. I hate doing this. Okay, that I really like doing. Let's get some chump blocker. The downside is I am very dead to another invoke. Corpse Appraiser, yeah. Maybe that was a reason not to block the 3-power creature. I like that. Now the question is, do I want to use my Otawara on anything? No, I think I hold it. Adeline, though. Adeline's real good. I want to see how they want to block. Just like that. Downside is they now have an active Fable. And that Corpse Appraiser is going to be a little scary. We don't really have good attacks, though. Well, that's unfortunate for me. I was not anticipating it takes this command. And we have the kill spell. Okay. Let's see if they remember to crew. Yeah, they did. Okay. Unfortunate. Alright, we are, what, 2-1? That was 3 really, really good cards off the top in a row. That is magic. And that is standard. Alright, we're on the play again. This hand seems really good. I hope to draw another land. And if I can be a little picky about that, I would appreciate it being an untapped black source or a plaza. That is an untapped black source or a plaza. Alright, so here's my Thalia. Do you have a cut down? You do not have a cut down. Alright. Wing Announcement's gonna be really good. Yeah. I'll get rid of Ludwig. Seriously? Alright, that's a little bit better. Alright, we're gonna get this down and start punishing them while we can. Opponent does not seem to have interaction based on how it passed priority, so they might just be clicking really quickly. Their own shoulder. Unfortunately, I am going to be able to do this. Cool, they're off it. Alright, how do I want to restructure? Because this is the same matchup as last time. I think I definitely want to bring in these. I might actually want these cut downs. I do think I want to keep Skrelv this time around. Not super worried about Ludwig. Wedding announcement. I can trim on. Go down on. Count for those. 3 more cuts. Honestly, I really wasn't super impressive. I could trim a Rafine. Rafine gets a little awkward when my opponent has their own Shieldred. Based on what we have seen so far, it's not unlikely they're going to be playing Disdainful Stroke. Okay. This Rafine's doing a lot of work. And that was a really good draw. So presumably this is going to get make disappeared, but my opponent's not going to be able to Bank Buster, and it gives a better shot for Rafine to stick. Corpse Appraiser is not what I wanted to see there, like at all, especially with this Takenuma. And they're going to off me before. I do get to land a Rafine, at the very least. I think I play the coast here, Plaza for next turn. No cut down. Yeah, I will make that trade all day. Do they have another Corpse Appraiser? Is that what this is? Or are they about to invoke me? They did have the Corpse Appraiser. Good news though, if they go to crew, I can destroy evil the Bank Buster for damage. This looks like it might be a Fable. Probably getting rid of the Sanctum here. I should have been more specific. Now this is a little awkward for me, because I want to make sure I keep up the Plaza of Heroes activation. So this needs 3. Alright. Could just play Takenuma. Do you have another Go for the Fruit? You do not. Alright, can't say I love this. But holding on to Shouldered seems like a really good way of winning the game. Though this Rafine is looking a little bit more delicate. Brotherhood's End into another Brotherhood's End? Wow, okay. Sure. They have a kill spell. Or they have something. I imagine it's a kill spell. It might be a cycle. Alright. I have 2 threats. You can't take another draw step if Sheoldred sticks around. Thalia is going to make removal a little bit more difficult, especially if you're trying to sequence a blocker in there too. Nope. They are killing themselves. Cool. Alright, so we are 3-1. On to our 5th and final match. Okay, hand looks great. I have a turn 2 Thalia into a turn 3 Rafine. Depending on what my opponent's line looks like, this might be a Denic into Rafine. But provided I find a 4th land, this is a beautiful curve out. Ideally, I would like to go Thalia into Rafine, discard Denic. Opponent is on a mulligan. Jace sleeves, so for all I know, it's going to be mono red. Or nothing? AFK? Should I do the little wave? Hello. Okay, good, you remember. Ooh, perfect. Putting Thalia down here means that Make Disappear is not active on turn 2. That's looking perfect. So they can cut down the Thalia. Which, sure, whatever, I don't care. I think at this point, it makes more sense for me to discard a Caves. I don't really need more lands after my 4th. If they had cut down... Okay. Like, if they have cut down, they should... hold it for the Rafine, right? This might be an edict? No, just a good old-fashioned kill spell. I'm fine with that. Here's a Shieldred. They clearly have something. It's a matter of what. But I am putting them on the back foot pretty well. Rona's Vortex tells me they don't have cut down. Because they really wouldn't want to use this early if they had anything better. If I had to guess, they probably have a Fable, maybe a, I don't know, an Invoke, maybe their own Shieldred. Okay, they're off it. Okay, so far deck has been doing really well. Granted, we've played like 4 different Grixis decks, because that's what this standard is. Let's trim on Skrelv again, even though I feel like that's probably wrong, but I think I might want the Malfunction. Isn't that crazy? Ditch a Ludwig. I would like my Disdainful Strokes. Adeline's still pretty good. Trim a Wedding Announcement. Trim Murphy. Oh, wait, no, I need to bring in these. What am I doing? Missed that altogether. Alright. Like, these don't work super well together, which is kind of part of my concern. Thought is too good. Still a lot of 3s. Sure, I'll cut the Thalia. Who knows? Hopefully, I can just kind of steamroll them again here, and we won't have to think critically about those decisions. Well, this hand casts a Denic really well. It holds up Disdainful Stroke, but I think I can do better. And that does it better. I think I'm putting back a Shieldred. It feels weird. I'm on the draw, so I can see if I can hit another land. As much as I want to get the Skrelv down first, I think it makes more sense to line up the rest of my turns a little bit better. Sure, here's a turn. Excuse me. Would you like to trade with this? You would. I'm okay with that. Kill your token. Get a Skrelv. This is the first time that I've run into a mana issue. Ooh, they discarded a basic. Also, their Swamp Swamp match. 2. Okay, that's 3 swamps. That will explain that. Let's get you out of here. Thalia is going to be real annoying for them. Especially with Skrelv. Ooh, baby, yeah. Tap out 3 mana at sorcery speed. Find a creature that doesn't work with reflections of Kiki Jiki. Oh, they did take white sword, or blue swords. Whatever. Really? Seriously? Nope. Running up the land either way, but... Okay. I get my Transmogran online. Which is actually really nice because I can sacrifice it to the Invoke Despair. Yeah. I'm gonna bring this back. Let's take some damage. Blue source, please. Really? Really? Alright, take 6. Wow, okay. They're just off it. Theoretically, my opponent hits me down to 6 off reflections. If I draw this blue source, I slam Rafine, hit for 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 3 triggers from Connive to maybe kill them. I would need to hit straight 3 non-lands, but certainly possible. Okay. So we finished 4 and 1. Deck feels really good. Smart people made this, and you can tell. So we're going to open this right back up. Apologies if you can hear my phone going off. Both of my parents are reaching out because they want to chit-chat today. I love them very much. Anyway, so all in all, deck feels great. Skrelv, like the threat of it is very high against these very interactive decks, but the downside being that like it doesn't have the power level that I want on each individual card, just being a beating to my opponent. Surprisingly, in that last game, so we have what, 8, 12, 15 blue sources, and we just didn't see it. That's wild. I really like this deck. I think it's very powerful. It's playing individually very strong cards that are disruptive in a way that the standard can't really accommodate. Rafine's stat line being an X4 with Ward 1 means that at really no point will a red-based opponent be able to get rid of this after it's attacked for the first time. And because it triggers whenever you attack, getting down a 2-drop, getting that immediate value is incredible. Having some graveyard utilization with the Transmogrant, with Ludwig, and with Denick also has been super helpful. I'm curious what I want to do with the sideboard, if anything. So having Destroy Evil makes a lot of sense. Having the Lauren also makes sense, but I don't know if 3 copies or in total 5 across for naturalized effects is the right thing, but so far I don't think I would change a thing here. Highly recommend this deck. Go play it. As always, this video is brought to you by QuietSpeculation.com. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamECohen or on Twitch at AceXSpades. As you can probably hear, I have not eaten lunch. It's about 3 o'clock my time, so I'm going to go do that. This video will be up on Tuesday, Was it Tuesday the 14th on Pi Day. So make sure you check it out, quietspeculation.com, on the YouTube page at Quiet Speculation. You already know where to find all of our stuff, but if you have any questions or want to chit-chat about what I should play next week, shoot me a message. Looking forward to hearing from everybody, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.